Hello, welcome. The theme today is the government we want. Before we talk about the government we want, let's remember that in the last topic, the government we have, we mentioned the problems, the unmet commitments, and we evaluated that the best way to create a government plan is through a workshop. Today, on the second day, we are going to start working on the government we want, following the steps to be taken, identifying unmet commitments, political marketing techniques, establishing a government philosophy for sustainability, mapping the future state, and applying methods for organizational improvement. In item 2, political marketing techniques, we will evaluate how to act to defend power, to maintain power. So these are techniques and strategies that we are going to adopt. Establishing a government philosophy for sustainability. What does it mean? It means that we have to, and any candidate, folks, needs to know about government philosophy and present a government philosophy. In the case of applying methods for organizational improvement, we will create a condition to prepare forms and recommendations. We will have the participants, each at their group table, debating each public policy, and then they will prepare and describe the problems, so that later we can present solutions. Government planning is a prior decision about what to do, how to do it, how much to do, and how much to spend. You see, the candidate in the first round comes in and starts talking about their expectations, their campaign promises. And in reality, all of this relates to what to do. But when it comes to saying how to do it, they get tangled up, folks. Many of them say, how to do it? I'll think about that later. Then I see a way of how to do it. And others describe succinctly how to do it. Then the first round took place. If the candidate made it to the second round, they will have a competition in 2. So they need to detail a bit more about what to do, how to do it, folks. It won't be limited to just that. So he starts to analyze when to do it. In the 4 years of the term, he will say, in the first year I'm going to do this, in the second year I'm going to do that. Don't go into too much detail, or else he gets committed. Then he asks, how much does it cost to do it each year? You see, folks, he's putting his word on the line. And if he doesn't follow through on that later, he will have to answer for it. So, see the importance of candidates in the first and second rounds being transparent about their expectations and their government plan. Government philosophy. For the candidate to work on their government philosophy. In this case, we suggest a government philosophy here related to sustainability. But the candidate bring a different government philosophy, but he has to assess how he will transfer this information, how to convey this information to the public. So, he has to evaluate first. I'm going to show my government philosophy, but I need to know about the master plan. I need to know about the organic law of the municipality. Without this foundation, and without a government philosophy, he has no way to describe his government plan, folks. So look, sustainable partnerships. The first thing is the fulfillment of people, not the involvement of people. Involvement is mechanical, false, ideological. Many times people say yes, but behind that they're saying no. So it reinforces the need for people's commitment. In the role of the City Hall, always promote continuous improvement, support, oversee, and mediate as well, okay? Interactive governance, a systematic line of conduct, maintaining standard of work, folks. Sustainable projects, financial management within the legislation, sustainable projects that are economically viable, socially responsible, and ecologically appropriate, as well as culturally accepted. Then we have public services, which is about serving the voter and resident with quality. Notice, everyone, that we mentioned each little group has a representative at the table in the workshop, and they have already investigated the problems and are proposing solutions for the future state, each one looking at their own public policy. So they will evaluate the problem, analyze the root cause, each one for their own public policy. Then the recommendations, the benefits it will bring, an implementation plan, which is the method, which is how to carry out the solution. And then responsibility will be assigned to someone to follow up, to monitor the plan in the field. This is very important because people need to have certain characteristics and attitude changes, such as, let's see now, people need to have firm criteria, have a standardized system, and not stray from the objectives, right? Train all participants, communicate with team members, and document. Without documentation, there's no reference. Documentation gets lost. It's all forgotten, folks. And let's move on. Well, we'll stop here on this topic, and we'll look at the topic of the next lesson, which is how to achieve the government we want. But first, let's recap a bit. In this topic, we talk about unfulfilled commitments. We talk about problems. We talk about the government plan. And also, what to do, how to do it, when to do it, how much it costs to do it, things of that nature. And then we talked about the government's philosophy, the importance of knowing about the master plan, about knowing about the organic law of the municipality. And then we outlined a profile of recommendations that the group established in the meeting, each one in their public policy, as solutions to the problems. And then we talked about monitoring, about strong follow-up and firm criteria to carry out this monitoring of the action plans. Folks, I want to thank you all, and I want to see you in the next topic, which is going to be very interesting. And we will complement this part about government planning. Thank you very much for your attention. A hug.